Is this working? I want to know if this is working. Can you hear me? We have someone saying Lion King. Why are you saying Lion King? Why are you saying Okay, is the audio working for everybody? Okay, I started the stream. Okay, so we have visuals for one person. Is the audio working? Yes, you did. So that means the audio is working, I'm guessing? Okay. So the audio is working. Hello, everybody. So this is the Disneyland stream. Not really, we're not in Disneyland, but today we are discussing probably the most popular land in Disneyland. That is Fantasyland. Then we're also talking about one of my favorite lands, and that is Mickey's Toontown. Mickey's Toontown, probably my childhood at Disneyland in a nutshell. So let's get started. So we're gonna start with Fantasyland. So with Fantasyland, there are a lot of attractions. There is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which I have here. This is Mr. Toad. These Funko Pops were created for the 65th anniversary of Disneyland. So let's get back into the regular topic. So for Fantasyland, you got Mr. Toad, you got Peter Pan's Flight, probably one of the most iconic theme park attractions ever created. Snow White's Scary Adventures, which will soon be becoming Snow White's Enchanted Wish. I made a video on it. There's Pinocchio's Daring Journey. It's a Small World. The Matterhorn bobsleds, which King Arthur Carousel. Thank you in the comments. Then there's not there. There's three. It's right there. Look right there. The Small World, the Matterhorn, King Arthur Carousel. The Mad Tea Party, Dumbo. Thank you again. Alice in Wonderland. There are this is the land with a lot of rides. It's probably the land with the most attractions, second to Tomorrowland, maybe. That could also have a lot of attractions, which we will get into for another episode of this series. Yeah. There are a lot of rides, attractions, secrets, so let's get into this. So, Matterhorn bobsleds, there's one obvious thing. Well, it might not be obvious. We're just going to go into three main things that I've noticed about this attraction. There is, of course, there's the Yeti, which is probably one of the most noticeable features about the ride. He has a name. His name is Harold. Not Kermit the Frog. Harold. It's Harold. And then also in the mountain there is a gondola, like from an old Disneyland attraction. And that attraction, I can't remember what it's called, like the Skyliner maybe. And it has Frank Wells on it, who was the president of the Walt Disney Company, who passed away in a helicopter accident. Another thing about the Matterhorn is it was the first steel roller coaster created in ever. So every steel roller coaster you've built, or not built, gone on or seen, whatever it is, thank the Matterhorn at Disneyland. Another thing about the Matterhorn. Oh yeah, in the Matterhorn there is a basketball court. This is one of the more well-known secrets for Disneyland. So in this, there is a basketball court. Now, many people say it was because to build something of the height that is the Matterhorn, it has to be a sports arena, which it doesn't. So people thought if Disney just threw in a mini basketball court, they could call it a sports center or whatever. Then, therefore, they can have it at this height. Not true. Walt Disney went to cast members and asked, what is the weirdest thing you would expect in this gigantic mountain? And so, out of all of the cast members, they said a basketball court. So, well, what does he build? A basketball court. Of course he does. I mean, who doesn't want to play basketball inside of the Matterhorn bobsleds? I mean, you can't. Well, cast members can't. Still. Let's see. Alright, let's move on to one of my favorite attractions in Fantasyland, and that is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Alright. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is one of the opening day attractions at Disneyland.
I'll be back.
It is sort of a I don't know, dark ride. Wait, what was that? It is a dark ride. It is probably the most thrilling out of all of the dark rides in Disneyland. And so I do recommend it. It's great. Probably one of the best effects is the train. So while you're in the ride in a dark tunnel, they have a light with a train sound playing. It makes you seem like you're going to be hit by a train. You will have a collision with a train, and it is amazing. I will say the ride ending in hell is a little strange.
One of my favorites. Who is back?
So, yeah. The policeman. Yeah, the policeman. He is another thing to remember. He does look kind of weird, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Mr. Toad. Now, Peter Pan's Flight, on the other hand, this is a ride that has a lot to talk about. Yeah, we got Peter Pan. She has brought Peter Pan. I didn't know about it, so oh, the bartender. Winky the bartender. Yeah, he's a character. You probably didn't know his name, so his name's Winky, if you didn't know that. Knowledge. Then, yeah. So Peter Pan's Flight, it is probably the most iconic Disneyland, Walt Disney World attraction that you could ever go on. It has a lot of history to it. I'm pretty sure it was one of its first kind for ride systems. Like how it's a dark ride, but you are leveled above the surface. It genuinely makes you feel like you're flying, and it is a great ride. There are a lot of good things to talk about, so let's get into that part. If you go on Peter Pan's Flight and you're on the side near Big Ben, then before you go like swerve, kind of turn around it, then if you have a very watchful eye, you will notice little animations of Wendy, John, Michael, and Peter Pan at one of the hands of the clock on Big Ben. It is really good. I didn't notice that until I watched the Imagineering story on Disney+. Yeah, many people want your too. We get it. Don't comment. Also, yeah, they do need a fast pass. They really do, but where would they put the line, huh? They can't. If they put a fast pass, then they would just mess up the flow of Fantasyland. It just would not work well at all.
I'm back.
So, fast pass probably never gonna happen, but it totally could if they open up Fantasyland.
I don't like Peter Pan.
She doesn't. She closes her eyes every single time.
Excuse me.
Also, on Big Ben, back to Big Ben again, on one of the top, above the clock, you will, if you have a very large fly, you will get a full body mini Hidden Mickey on it. So it's not just your average, these, like the full circle with the two small circles, I guess. It'll be a full body Mickey Mouse that on like a side view, kind of like that. There we go. Also in the Darlings nursery, you will see there are blocks on the ground. I noticed this last time I was at Disneyland before the pandemic, and they can spell out many different things. When I was there, it spelled out the words Peter Pan. So I think that is a really cool Easter egg. But other than that, there's not much to say about Peter Pan, from what I know. I will say I do love the mini Neverland diorama, I guess you could call it.